Sydney is angry, protesters march to demand urgent action on climate change.
Here's a summary of the article.
Thousands of Sydneysiders marched from Town Hall to Hyde Park on Wednesday evening, packing out George Street to demand stronger climate action as bushfires continue to rage across the state. The event, titled "NSW is Burning, Sydney is Choking, Climate Emergency Rally," was swiftly set up on Facebook last week by Extinction Rebellion, Uni Students for Climate Justice, and Greens MP David Shoebridge, in response to horrendous air conditions and ongoing bushfires across New South Wales. "The state is angry, Sydney is angry," she said. High school student Amy Lamont addresses the thousands of protesters wearing P2 face masks and said, "The reality is these fires will be around all summer." Fire Brigade Employees Union State Secretary Leighton Drury has been a firefighter for 20 years and said the fires ravaging NSW are the worst we've had in decades. "We've got no water, a state and country in drought, professional firefighters are spread thin and our volunteers are exhausted." On Tuesday, thick smoke from the bushfires forced thousands of workers to abandon work sites, schools to cancel excursions and firefighters to attend scores of jobs as the smoke triggered alarms in buildings across the city.
This post received a score of 39,439, with an upvote ratio of 89%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
We hear you. So, how many new coal power plants do you want us to build?
40 it is then.
Your demands are too much, 80 is my final offer.
Let's just do a 360 and get it over with.
What about nuclear?
That pollution takes too long to kick in. We need people sick or dying yesterday.
Why do news articles need so much filler? Reduced by 82% is quite a lot.
But it's not perfect. It left out key details that people would like, such as there being 20,000 protesters. Still a good bot.
That is a disappointingly small number. In a city of 5 meters people, they need to be getting a couple of 100,000 to marches like this for politicians to take note. Otherwise they're easily dismissed as the radical fringe, despite not being so. We Australians are far too apathetic.
The protest was organised in about 3 days. It was an amazing turnout given the short planning. We had 80,000 a few months ago.
100% publicly owned renewable energy generation and exports by 2030 fund a just transition and job creation for all fossil fuel workers and communities. 2. Fund fire services. Reverse the funding cuts and increase funding immediately to the RFS and NSW Fire and Rescue 3 action to address toxic smoke and protect workers. All employers required to cease operations immediately in areas where air pollution reaches dangerous levels for workers. All hospitals, aged care facilities, schools and child care centers to be fitted with proper HEPA filters or air conditioning. Those particularly vulnerable to respiratory conditions offered government-supplied HEPA air purifiers, or fully funded evacuation to clean areas for the duration of the crisis. Greater than 100% publicly owned renewable energy generation and exports by 2030. Why does it have to be publicly owned? That's a safe way of never getting it done.
The private sector has no plans, means of achieving this in time to avoid catastrophe. Given the urgency, a coordinated effort using the country's resources is needed to ditch fossil fuels and build the necessary sustainable infrastructure.
I will never get how Australians elected Tony Abbott and then decided another 2 Liberal governments was ideal. But there again we've done, and are seemingly about to do again, the same thing here in the UK.
These are times for populists who exploit people's emotional behaviours.
Misinformation spreads via social media far faster than any of it can be addressed. Time for populists indeed. Exhibit, the entire world since Facebook. Gotta love it.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.